there, Sagittarians. Welcome to this reading here with Straight Talking Tarot. That's me. Anyhow, we'll go straight into the reading. Today's cards, the cards I'm using today are the Wandering Star Tarot. That looks like this. And we also have the, I always forget this one, the Healing with the Fairies Oracle card as well, okay, by Doreen Virtue. These are very old cards. They were one of her earlier batches of her oracle cards. Anyhow, I've got everyone's got to have six cards. You guys have got 8. Okay, I've got 2 bonus cards at the end, and you've got 4 of each. So let's have a look, and we'll open up the first card. Okay, so here we've got the card of Strength. Now, several other signs have got this card, and I think 2 of them could have got it in the same spot. So you're coming in, Sagittarius, with a sense of strength and a sense of inner promise. I feel like you've kind of fought your demons, or sort of hugging your dragon. That's the word I can want to say. And you've got control of a situation. Perhaps before you're being swayed quite a bit by something's going on, and now you kind of have got a handle over it. So I feel like you've got a handle over something, okay, which has required some strength on your part as well, okay. But this is a kind of phase or the energy coming into the reading. All right, it could to do with here. I'm going to just open all the bottom cards. Actually, let me do that. Lovely. All right, we've got the 5 of Pentacles and the 4 of Pentacles next to the Strength. So I feel like somewhere here, I feel like you're sort of mastering or beginning to find that what is holding you back, and what needs to actually, what changes you need to make. What is it that you need to put in place for things to grow? Okay, I feel like in some way, I want to say this because I feel like I'm getting that you've been messed around. All right, somehow things have been unstable, and it has created a situation, a sense of sort of power struggle, a sense of loss or frustration, or any of that kind of thing with the 5 of Pentacles here, and also the 4 of Pentacles, which is also tells me, indicates that perhaps you having to hold on quite tightly to your finances, or perhaps even your energy, and you're conserving your energy. Okay, so this is just not going to relate to everybody, okay, but this is an opportunity, especially with Venus going retrograde, on what and how you want to cultivate on making things grow. What is it that you want to sort of sow the seed, and so you can actually gain the benefits of. I feel like some of you as well, you need to come out of your shell here as well, and really start showing up as who you are, and show your talents as well, that are both related to your heart and maybe even with your hands as well. So really offering the kind of gifts. Some of you are very gifted, perhaps to do with cooking or something that you're making. I feel that, and something that you're creating, and it's really time for you to take it out into the world. All right, Sagittarians, this is a time now for you to really start shining, and perhaps putting the hardship that you've experienced behind you. All right, this as a bonus card, which came out, I feel like also this is the Queen of Cups, which is a really lovely card here, because this does tell me that you've now got a sense of emotional well-being and emotional happiness that you are now going to be accessing. This is the Queen, that she's, the Queen is not the page, and not the King either, okay? And the Queen kind of sits on her throne, but here she's very sort of intuitively and very, not, I wouldn't say delicate, but very femininely in her creative power. Okay, she's used her intuition. She knows what moves her from the inside of her soul, what actually makes her shine as well, okay, from inside of her. But it didn't come easy for some of you, Sagittarians. I think you've had to struggle to get here, or the last few months, few weeks, or perhaps even longer than that for some of you. It has been quite a task for you to get to this place, okay? Now, this also invokes to have compassion for yourself and not to compare yourself to anybody else. Let me just trust that where you are at, and what your creativity is, what your creativity now is what needs to be seen, okay? And I feel that you have something maybe even new to offer, because that's what I'm getting. All right, I'm just going to open the other cards. Let's have a look. Yeah. Okay, it's really lovely. These 4 cards are really supportive. Okay, I feel like in some way, like I said to you, you've taken some strength, because I think there've been some problems around you. There's been some difficulty around you, because here I've got the Angel of Problem Solved on top of the Strength card as well. So in terms that it's required some strength for you to actually really sort of release some of the problems. Maybe you've had some frustrating delays. Maybe people have been making promises and not fulfilled it. Perhaps you've been coming up against obstacle after obstacle, or something's not been working and you've been feeling frustrated about it. All right, I feel like in some way the right thing to do was to take a vacation as well, like maybe to pull back, to retreat, or maybe just let go of it. Okay, vacation is the literal one as well, going on holiday, literally saying, well, that's it, I'm just going to give it a break, which also I feel like the 5 of Pentacles in a positive, in a positive octave of the 5 of Pentacles, instead of being a card of deprivation, which often it is portrayed as. This is also about maybe you pulling back and allowing yourself to sort of maybe not struggle so much and be without whatever that without is for you. It could be maybe you've been waiting to hear some news on a move or on a new job, and it's been held back. And you've been waiting and you've been wanting to move forward and it's not been happening, and you're now sort of thinking, okay, I'm okay with not knowing, I'm okay with being where I am, all right, and I'm just going to allow things to show up. Okay, I'm not going to hold on so tightly. And I think as soon as you say you're not going to hold on so tightly, things are going to start showing up. We've got the financial flow. So in some way, sometimes it's like whatever we resist persists. So by just letting it go, right, because we've all been there. There are times when you think, right, I just have to surrender it. There's nothing more I can do. I've tried everything. I've written to these people. I don't want to be pushy or whatever it is. There are times often in life that we put forward our action, and there are times to actually sit back and see what the action brings in. And I feel like in your case here, Sagittarians, you guys have been putting the effort out there. You've been networking, you've been meeting people, you've been putting ideas out there, you've been making the effort to bring some kind of flow that is going to make you a lot emotionally happier and more satisfied, and that is actually going to start moving you forward and coming in. Okay, so this is actually really good news as well for some of you. This is definitely something coming in, and it's going to bring you this emotional happiness, because here we have, awakening your true self. So like I said, you've had to sort of maybe, put things on hold, or maybe even had to take a stand. But whatever it is, this time, this phase at the moment, and for weeks to come as well. So this is not maybe immediate for some of you, and this might make more sense later on in a few weeks' time for some of you as well, I want to say. And there's going to be a sense of awakening your true self. So whatever challenges you've been going through, perhaps you're going to actually acquire something more than you thought you could have. In terms of maybe a job title or a role or even a home. For some of you have been looking for something new. You've been putting your luck out there and listening out for signs and maybe what's right for you. And despite the fact you've put the effort out there, it's not been quite right. And not coming in, but at the same time I'm picking from this card here that it is going to be coming in, and it's actually going to allow you to awaken your true self. So this is actually a really extraordinary and a really positive reading. At the bottom of the deck here I've got as well, after much deliberation and choices you've had and maybe putting your effort out, I've got the 7 of Cups here as well. You've had to be discerning, you've been putting a lot of effort and maybe making some choices and maybe getting lost in the midst of your choices, which has been creating the some part of the problem. But you have here the 6 of Wands and the Magician as well at the bottom of the deck. So this really confirms to me that the energy that's sort of surrounding you all be coming in as well is very much about the skill and the action that you've taken, being in your own authority, and also maybe even manifesting, because Magician often is the aligned alchemist, if you like, to actually bring things to fruition. Okay, at the bottom of the other deck I've got here is tapping into nature. So some of you taking time out in nature also be really fruitful, especially taking the energy or the time out. I've also got here at the bottom of the, and this is incredible because all these decks have been really shuffled, romantic partner. For some of you, it could definitely be calling in, or you might meet some significant other, okay, and this might just turn up very unexpectedly when you're least expected. And I think that's because and this is only going to speak to some of you, that's because you've got to a point where you actually feel quite secure and really present in yourself. I'm going to leave it there because I don't want to get involved in the kind of a more lengthy partnering situation, because it's not a love reading or anything like that. This is a general reading for any of you Saggis out there, or any of the placement Sagittarius. So let's see what chakra can help you at this phase of this reading. All right. Okay, you have got the throat chakra, so really speaking up as well, you know. And I feel also with your financial flow, which is very blue card here, this throat chakra is also going to help you. So if you're applying for something, a CV, or putting a presentation on, or even pitching for I don't know, a property or whatever it is, it's going to require a creative effort and endeavor and your creativity. For some of you also, it could be, you know, the throat chakra is not only you know, to do with your voice, but your self-expression, your creative expression as well. And often those two are very linked, all right? But then this is how it gets outwardly manifest and expressed. So working on your throat chakra, for anyone who's got a presentation to do, or maybe thinking of doing something new, okay, as well, you know, you're awakening some new part of yourself as well. It could be a YouTube channel, it could be anything, maybe putting a book together, or putting something that's going to make you some financial abundance as well, okay? It's to you with your emotional expression and financial abundance. You know, tuning in strongly and working with your throat chakra is really going to help you activate that and give you the strength, the confidence, and the voice to put things into action, okay? And just trust that by doing so, you will release any blocks. This is for some of you who might actually feel a bit held back, or afraid. Maybe things have, you know, been not working in your favor, and you've kind of lost a bit of your confidence. By working with the throat chakra, the sound of E-H-A will help you to do that. Again, as I always say, look up any YouTube channel to do with the throat chakra. That will also help you to, you know, rebalance and harmonize it and activate it for yourself. So the final thing I'm going to offer you at this for this reading is going to be the Oracle of the Roses card, because we're talking about Venus retrograde, and I felt that these cards, which are very Venus to me, very beautiful, and to do with the gardens and beauty and nature, all of the Venusian qualities. Oop, that one supposed to come out. Take that one. Is what I'm going to offer. Let's have a look. Oh, there's two here. Let's have a look. The top one. Okay, the artist. Lovely. I'm going to just take the top one. All right. So here we've got what's called the Reuben Rose. And let's have a look. I've been reading out the Oracle book. All right. So I'm assuming as well, by even saying the artist, this is what I said to you about the self-expression. Okay. This is very much about the artist chakra, really allowing a truthful, authentic expression. Okay. A creator. And not to be afraid of that. I mean, even voice work, actually doing singing, you know, when people sing in choirs and all that kind of stuff, you know, you feel jubilant, you feel really excited, and you've got a voice. So anything creative like that also will really help to activate the throat chakra. All right. And for those already who sing, you know, you probably know that, you know, and it always allows the flow. Singing is, in fact, a very powerful tool. But anyway, let's look what the artist has for you. It says, listen closely to your intuition as it's trying to turn your attention to what you need to focus on. Okay, don't go with the flow of what everyone else seems to be doing or others are expecting. Embrace change, play and be adventurous, and while it may seem hard at the moment to take a big plunge into a new endeavor, you can certainly dip your toe into the creative spirit. So this is also asking you about the courage, to have the courage maybe to move forward in something else that you want to do. Okay, but we've got it here beautifully with the Queen of Cups. Okay, the artist may indeed become carried away with their own idea as they jump from one thought to thought, searching for the common threads, but there will still eventually be a focus on creating order from the organic. All right, so basically, I really still think it's about perspective, curiosity, motivation, focus, and creativity. Okay, it says here, find a quiet space and in your own time, journal and describe the first 5 things you see and what do you feel about them. So that's what it has to say about that. I feel also this is quite a nice suggestion, especially going out into nature. Take yourself out to nature as well, and particularly with Venus retrograde as well. It's a really good time to journal and ask yourself, what values, what do I love? Okay, not what should I love, you know, what you think that's going to make you money, right? What do I love? Okay, look for the clues. Often they're around you already. all right? But, you know, do find a quiet space and journal and describe the 5 things you see, or I would say that you actually can find in your heart as well, and what you feel about them. So, lovely Sagittarians, thank you for being here. Thank you for all the new subscribers. Thank you for listening. Do comment and share and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. I hope this reading has spoken to you, and do come back for the next one, when, if you subscribe, you will be notified, obviously, with the next video. All right, thanks for listening, and I'll catch you next time. Bye for now. Bye.